Welcome you all for the National Conference on Recent Advances of Computational Intelligence, Techniques in Science, Engineering and Technology. I request all the dignitaries to come on to the dais and occupy their honorable seats. To begin this auspicious occasion, I invite Miss Manasa to sing an almighty song. ಶರಣು ನಿನಗೆ ಶರಣು ವಿನಾಯಕ ಶರಣು ನಿನಗೆ ಶರಣು ವಿನಾಯಕ ವಿನಾಯಕ ವಿದ್ಯಾದಾಯಕ ದೇವ ಶರಣು ನಿನಗೆ ಶರಣು ಪಾಶಾಂಕುಶರ ಮೂಷಿಕ ವಾಹನ ಸರ್ವಾಲಂಕೃತನೇ ಗಜಾನನ ಪಾಶಾಂಕುಶರ ಮೂಷಿಕ ವಾಹನ ಸರ್ವಾಲಂಕೃತನೇ ಗಜಾನನ ಆದಿ ಪೂಜಿತ ನೀನು ವೇದ ವಂದಿತ ನೀನು ಆದಿ ಪೂಜಿತ ನೀನು ವೇದ ವಂದಿತ ನೀನು ಮೋದಕ ಪ್ರಿಯ ನೀನು ಗಣಾಧಿಪ ಶರಣು ನಿನಗೆ ಶರಣು ವಿನಾಯಕ ಶರಣು ನಿನಗೆ ಶರಣು ಗಿರಿಜಾಸುತನಿಗೆ ಗರಿಕೆಯ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುವೆ ಪರಿಹರಿಸು ಪಾಪ ಗಣಾಧಿಪ ಗಿರಿಜಾಸುತನಿಗೆ ಗರಿಕೆಯ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುವೆ ಪರಿಹರಿಸು ಪಾಪ ಗಣಾಧಿಪ ರಕ್ತವರ್ಣನು ನೀನು ಲಂಬೋದರ ನೀನು ರಕ್ತವರ್ಣನು ನೀನು ಲಂಬೋದರ ನೀನು ಪರಿಹರಿಸು ಪಾಪ ಗಣಾಧಿಪ ಶರಣು ನಿನಗೆ ಶರಣು ವಿನಾಯಕ ಶರಣು ನಿನಗೆ ಶರಣು ವಿನಾಯಕ ಶರಣು ನಿನಗೆ ಶರಣು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. Light symbolizes brightness and prosperity. It removes the forces of darkness and gives us positivity. In spiritual world, light directing the lamp in field of Goddess Saraswati. I would request all the dignitaries to light the lamp. May the divine power bless us all. I request anyone student to join the lighting of lamp.
Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in.
Please be seated, everyone. I would like to remember in this pleasant occasion our beloved founder and chairman, Dr. S. M. Venkatpati ji, East Point Group of Institution. I would welcome our respectable chairperson, V. L. Ramadevi Venkatpati ji, EPGI, in her absence. Welcome, ma'am. My hearty welcome to our CEO, Shri Pramod Gowda sir and Shri Rajiv Gowda sir, EPGI. Welcome, sir. I would like to welcome our secretary, Mr. Peter Francis, EPGI. Welcome you, sir. On this momentous occasion, it is our proud privilege and fortune to welcome Mr. Selva Subramani sir, director at Oracle, as our chief guest. I request our principal, Dr. Yogesh sir, to welcome our guest by presenting a bouquet. Leadership is a capacity to translate vision into reality. That's none other than our Senior Vice President, Dr. Prakash Sir. I would like to welcome him in his absentia. A leader is great not because of his power, but because of his ability to empower others. That's none other than our beloved Principal, Dr. Yogesh Sir. I request Dr. Manimoli Ma'am to welcome our Principal Sir by presenting a bouquet. Leadership is a capacity to translate vision into reality. That's none other than our beloved HOD, Dr. Manimali ma'am. I request Mrs. Shilpa ma'am to welcome our HOD ma'am by presenting a bouquet. I also welcome our organizing chair, Mrs. Jagdevi ma'am and Mrs. Amu Buana ma'am, and students who dedicatedly supported us throughout this walk, Sudarshan, Vishal, Shaikabdul, and Nishchit. I request Mr. Ravi Kumar sir to welcome all by presenting a bouquet. Students, please join. Words motivate people to take action and make difference in life. We now have an opportunity to fuel our thoughts. I request our beloved Principal Dr. Yogesh sir to bless us with your ideas and inspire us in.
Very good morning,
Good morning, sir.
respected dignitaries on the dais. Selva Subramani sir, we are honored to have you on this occasion, sir. Thank you very much for your kind time. Respected Manimaji madam, Professor Head of the Department, CSC. Respected faculty members and participants of national conference, recent advances in computational intelligence techniques in science, engineering, and technology. And my dear student friends, it's a privilege and honor to speak on this occasion. In the present artificial intelligence era, computations is a very important tool where always you require an optimization. In this regard, when Manimoji madam initiated this particular program, I was very much overwhelmed. I told you, go ahead, madam. and she has done in a very excellent way. I congratulate the Department of CS for conducting this national conference. Let us appreciate. If you take example of your Alexa, as soon as you assign a work for an Alexa, it will do it immediately for you. So that's the beauty of artificial intelligence. Any computational thing which you are going to carry out, that should be for the betterment of the society. If this purpose is served, definitely our research proposals, whatever we do, has some meaning in that, and it makes sense. I think definitely this national conference will help in that regard. This is a great platform for all the researchers throughout India to share their knowledge in the field of computational intelligence techniques. I wish you all the best for all the participants. Thank you, everyone.
A true welcome is never complete without warm words and warmer gestures. I request our HOD, Dr. Manipuri ma'am, to speak a few words about the conference.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
It's indeed a great pleasure and honor to welcome all of you in this national conference. Recent advances in the computational intelligence techniques in science, engineering, and technology. It is a very vast and broad area. In these occasions, I feel very proud and fortunate. Welcome our chief guest, Mr. Selva Subramani sir, Director of Oracle. I would like to share my conference proposal very short span of time. So whenever we are new initiative in the university, the whole behind us our president, senior vice president sir, as well as the principal sir. They never say anything, anytime no to us. Immediately they will start to kickstart and they will start to scrutinize the quality of the work. So I'd like to thank our beloved principal sir. He was running behind this whole conference, checking all the proceedings and whatever the brochures, invitations, everything. No one won't do like this. This they will be sanctioned whenever we prepared. But sir was looking all the aspects and very thankful you sir. Thank you sir. And my heartfelt gratitude to our senior vice president Prakash sir, who has been the driving force behind this conference and providing a very good advisory committee. So we have a very good advisory committee to connect all the people in the academia as well as industry perspective. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Always you are running for us actually. So I'd like to thank the journal team. So immediately we have to start work on the how to execute the process. So it should be go with the proceedings. So as per the principal, sir, the proceedings should be released in the conference date. Okay. So we have only hardly 15 days time out. Immediately we have split up the teams. We have arranged the departmental meeting. Immediately journal team as well as the proceeding team, internal coordination team, and the manner team. So many work we have split up. Everybody have put a lots of efforts to provide like a quality of the work. So, for example, in the journal team, immediately Dr. Sangamalavalli ma'am, even though ma'am is there in the offline also, online, she has immediately helped what are the contacts. And Ammu Bona ma'am, Jagadevi Bakka ma'am, Nityananda sir, and Chandramani sir. All the senior faculty members, they have cooperated with us. And the proceeding team, immediately Shami ma'am have worked out, Divya ma'am, Mani Mengale ma'am, Rashmi ma'am, and Ravi Kumar sir. They have worked on the proceeding, how to do the proceedings, what are the front to last pages, what are the contents have to be come out well. And the internal coordination team, Pawan Kumar sir, Vasim sir, Kesavan sir, Madhushree ma'am, Neha Khade ma'am, and Vasim sir and Revati ma'am. Just to join 2 days back also, they asked me what are the work we have done. Especially my heartfelt thanks to my students team, Sudarshan, Vishal, Abdul and Chel. So they are working behind day and night, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, they used to message, they used to get all the approval from our team. So thank you students, thank you, Ananda.
I request our organizing chair, Mrs. Jagdevi ma'am, to welcome the keynote speaker.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Jagdevi Bakka, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. It is with immense pleasure to introduce our esteemed chief guest for today's conference, Mr. Selva Subramani, With over 25 years of experience in the field of technology and business growth, Mr. Subramani is a highly accomplished leader in the area of digital transformation, cloud implementations, product management, IT strategy and services, enterprise architecture, and development. Mr. Subramani has completed his bachelor's degree in electronics and communication engineering from PSC College of Technology. His educational background has provided him with a great strong foundation in the field of technology and has paved the way for his successful career. Throughout his career, Mr. Subramani has held various leadership positions in renowned organizations where he has made significant contributions and achieved remarkable results. Currently, he serves as a cloud engineering data analytics leader at Oracle, catering to North America customers. In this role, he is responsible for architecting and implementing data lake, data warehouse, data integration, and analytics solutions using cutting edge technologies such as Oracle Analytics Cloud, Autonomous Data Warehouse, and Big Data technologies. Prior to his current role, Mr. Subramani served as a senior director of data analytics at G Healthcare, where he played a pivotal role in building the next generation architecture for the One Data transformation. He successfully migrated on-premise global services and commercial data to the AWS cloud, resulting in significant annual savings. Mr. Subramani also held leadership positions at Dell Technologies, where he served as the Director of Data Intelligence, Director of Data Engineering Analytics. During his tenure, he led the delivery of highly scalable data solutions and products, driving innovations and business value for EMC and Dell. Mr. Subramani is an excellent public speaker and thought leader with a wide range of topics including big data, cloud, mobile device management, AI ML. His ability to inspire and collaborate with business executives has been instrumental in applying the power of digital transformation and data analytics for support organizational transformations. Mr. Salva Subramani is a highly accomplished and respected leader in the field of technology and business growth. His extensive experience, expertise, and passion for digital transformation and data analytics made him an ideal chief guest for today's conference. We are honored to have him with us and look forward to his valuable insights and contributions. Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request all the dignitaries to release our conference proceedings.
Sudarshan Vishal Abdul.
They are standing, no? It's the fourth or sixth. Mine is connected for internet. It's connected whole day, it will be connected.
I now request our principal, Dr. Yogesh sir, to felicitate our chief guest, Mr. Selva Subramanian sir.
Can I set it properly? It's not properly set. Yeah. You can keep the cardboard there and then put the camera because it's not properly set.
Issues nothing. He should have done this before. Now in front of them doing it again in that situation. I called.
Ma'am, you're Sachin and ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಫೋನ್ ಏರೋಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮೋಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ
ನಾನು ಏರೋಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ
Not
ಸ್ಟಾಫ್
reachable, not
ಏರೋಪ್ಲೇನ್
reachable.
ಮೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಐತೆ
ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸರ್ಚಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ what I'm telling you, lift the table with put the cardboard there or something to lift it up in proper framework.
At last moment thing has stopped working. At last moment we put the plug. Stand is not working. The
ಯಾರ್ದು
German we call
ಯಾರ್ದು
it.
ಅದೇ
I request our chief guest, Mr. Selva Subramani sir, to speak few words and fuel our thoughts. Over to you, sir.
Everything German.
I'm talking here if you want to listen what I'm talking. Can I send it to us? There won't be an embarrassment. No. If he's giving the conference, from where will he be giving it? From the podium, right? Nowhere else, right? Can I at least set it properly so that only the podium is seen properly with the college name? Can I do that?
Because he's going to present PPT, I think so.
That's what.
Right?
Right. So now, okay. Can I?
Yeah, go. Check my hand. Left, right, up, down. He's going to be a student also. Why? Lab. I don't know. Of the lights. Yeah, no.
How good is this? Much better.
Of the lights.
The frame, everything.
See, it's okay.
The lights are there, no? The lights are there, no?
The log on now. The log.
Should I?
Light off. Light off. It's like only the
No, it's connected.
presentation is not.
Good morning,
Good morning, sir.
I will do something.
backbenchers. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Not loud enough. Good morning.
I'll switch it
Good morning.
to.
First of all, thank you for giving me this great opportunity. Mani madam, first, yes, he knows me personally. Then thanks to Principal Sir Yogesh,
Hello,
and
sir.
then Megha madam, he has given all the welcome addresses. And then Jagdevi madam, all of you, thank you so much, and all the staff here, because we have a lot of staff here from CS, all this side, right? Most of the staff on this side.
Yes.
And then all the students, more than all of us, right? You guys are the future,
So,
and you are going to lead the world in future.
Zoom.
So this next, I think, half an hour or 45 minutes is going to be more interactive session, hopefully. If you guys are asking questions and you want to know anything about the IT industry, you are interested to know about how to prepare yourself to get into this IT industry as a software engineer, software developer, there are so many names, but you want to get a job in IT industry, how do you prepare yourself? I believe all of you are second year students, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
First year.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
You should say yes.
That's the plan. If you have any other doubts, any questions about your career, all are welcome. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So every day when you get up, how many of you? I mean, not. Is there anybody here not checking your mobile for WhatsApp or Instagram? Is there anyone here who doesn't check? 2, 3. What do you guys do? That, look at that. This has become the odd thing right now, right? Everybody, when they wake up daily morning, they look at their mobile. When they go to bed, just before closing their eyes, they look at their mobile, including me. That is how this world is connected, and we are connected to this outside world. And there is so much happening, and all of this is all happening through this technologies in the background. And there is so much technology that runs in the software, that runs on mobile, that runs on laptop, that runs on servers, that runs on data centers behind the scenes that enables this. That is how this world is running, and it's increasing. Um, how many of you publish stories in Instagram? Huh? You can be open. You don't need to. 5, 6, 7. There are 2 staff also. I do it. Huh? Okay, good. There's nothing wrong. Okay? So sometimes the parents say, "What do you do with Instagram?" Right?
No, so the button is there.
That's okay. I think that's how you learn, and then you get connected to the friends and outside world. Um, so, like I said, what we do is first we'll just look at what are the opportunities out there in the industry, and what does it mean, each of them. And then most of these things are directly connected to the final year students. I go to different colleges, talk to mostly final year students and MCA students. But since you guys are second year students, I will make sure that I connect to you at an early level than the final year students. So it's more about first for next 2 years what you will do to prepare yourself. And I do want to make sure that you think on the lines that how do you prepare yourself? Like I really liked what Nega said first when she started, right? If you have a goal in life, for example, you want to become an IT engineer first, and then you want to become a manager, director, all those vice president, anything, right? You have to increase your abilities and skills. First, want to make sure that you have a goal. Don't settle down for a thing that, okay, that's all I can do, right? You have to increase your capabilities and you can reach there. First, you have to make sure that how to do that. How do you increase your skill set? How do you increase your capabilities to reach your goal is the most important thing. The one thing that I always like is that you can be poor or born in a poor family, born in a middle class, which is all fine. But when you die, you want to be a rich person. That should be your goal. how to become rich, which is very important, right? That's where it starts. Everything starts from there, right? If you don't want to get rich and then you want to be lead normal life, then nothing is interesting. Most of the people can do. Everybody can do. Everybody is doing it, which is something that you want to make sure that you understand what you want to do. Always keep asking yourself, what is that you like? What is that you want to do in life? And then just focus towards that. So we talked about this social media, how we are all connected. Do you guys still use Facebook? Yes. Lot of staff and I use like some of the previous generation. I guess the young people mostly use Instagram, right? Okay. But still Facebook is also good. Um, and then Fitbits. Do you know about Fitbit? Fitbit, something that you wear, right? It monitors your health, it records your heartbeat, and you can connect it to your
Digital
mobile.
watch.
Yeah. So all of these things, it's like if you heard about IoT, you guys hear about IoT, you probably have papers in the cloud, right? So any device that gets connected to the computer through different formats is called this IoT. So these Fitbits are all for come in that category. You can wear that as a watch. Nowadays even it can actually act as a mobile to some extent. It can give you text and everything. A lot of people in US they have these Fitbits. Most of the people. And when you go to hospitals, you can use those records, information, everything. Um, Anybody who has not done Amazon here shopping? Nobody, right? Or Flipkart? Mostly Amazon, but I mean it was not there before, but now it's picked up like anything. So if you look at all of this, right? If Google Map is not there, I know we cannot travel to many places. Without Google Maps, it's extremely difficult. Swiggy, other one, right? How many of you is there a hostel here? Yes. Yes? How many of you stay in hostel? Can you guys order Swiggy food or you have to eat only hostel food?
Only hostel food.
Huh? I didn't hear. What is it? You can order Swiggy food? No? Yes or no? Yes, okay, good. Um, yeah, so all of these, right? Whether it is entertainment or travel or healthcare or daily life like mobiles and laptops that we use, everything is enabled by the IT industry today. The technologies behind this is software, hardware, firmware, you call it anything, right? That runs behind this. And everything runs on top of hardware, and then you have uh, different technologies that we will go through quickly. And then you have so much data out there, and from that data, we extract information and then start using it. There are some facts you can see. This is amazing how much information is out there, what is happening in the world. You can see here this 79% of the employees today in the IT industries they work virtually. Actually, I come from a remote village. I go to my neighbors, lot of homes. I see software engineers. They work from their homes, and they do farming also. That's how it become common now. The after this pandemic, right, Corona, you can work from anywhere in the world. That is how the world has become. The technology is out there, the internet is there. You can connect and use the Zoom and video calls and everything. It is like an office almost. So nowadays, I think the offices are asking people to come to office slowly 1 or 2 days a week. Most of the people are still not coming; they are working from remote. Even colleges, they used to attend from home using Zoom and other opportunities. So that is how the world has become digital. Everything is digital almost. And if you look at the world, I think most of the engineers who do in IT, they are not IT engineers. They come from different backgrounds. They come from BCom, they come from BA, they finish other degrees, they come into IT industry. So there is always shortage for IT engineers. The only thing is that you have to have the right skills and abilities. If even if you study IT, if you don't build your skills properly, then you fall behind, which is what you don't want. Just keep that in mind always. You want to have your skills developed in different formats and different skills, which we will quickly go through it. And if you have any doubts or anything, we will discuss more. Yeah, see, only about 25% of the people finish come into IT industry as software engineers. The rest is all from other degrees. So the first interesting topic, I guess each of these topics you probably have extensive papers and subjects. There are teachers who teach this. Cloud computing. I think everybody must have heard about it. In case if you are not, what is cloud computing? And there are thousands of people, lakhs of people who work as cloud engineers today. What do they do? So in simple, earlier it used to be something called data center. So every companies, every industry, they have something a huge building where all the servers are there, not the laptops. We all connect to it. We use the data in the servers. So what happened recently, like maybe I would say about 6-7 years back, they found that there are not enough servers. They don't have enough power. When I say power, the CPU power, memory, hard disk, all of that. How do they add more power? It has become more expensive to build more and more hardware. So what they did, they found out the machines which are not used from other areas of the world. So if I have a server, it's only 20% used. If you have a server, you are 100% used, then I can lend my server to do your processing. But I am sitting in a different location, different areas, and you are in a different part of the world, different country. How do we enable this? This is all done through cloud computing. So cloud is a layer that sits in between. It enables these connections possible, and you can process high amount of data or programs and huge the CRM, CRPs, all these enterprise level softwares using this cloud. So that is the most interesting thing that has happened in last 5 years. If you look at Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Oracle, all these four companies, they have invested hugely in cloud in last 5 years. Huge investment. They have hired lots of people with cloud engineering background. So how do you prepare yourself to become cloud engineer? That's something that's important. You might want to, if you are interested in this. So there are people who do the administration of data, backend networking. So you want to do some courses around this. You become master in those subjects. Then you can slowly become a cloud engineer. Cloud. Then after a few years, you will become cloud architect. That's how it works. And there are different types of clouds available. So something called infrastructure, and there is like operating system or software as a service like Salesforce or Oracle CRM. All these softwares will be available in cloud, so companies can buy and use it. And you can also probably, if an individual, you must be storing data in cloud, right? If you use Gmail, it stores data in cloud. Photos, all of that gets stored in cloud. And if cloud is not there, you all have limited hard disk, right? Like 10 GB or I don't know. Earlier it used to be 5 GB. Now it's like 10 GB. But still, we have lot of photos, lot of videos. And where do you store? You store in cloud. And earlier there used to be concerns around security. We don't know who is going to access it, who is going to look at it, right? Now they have come up with all the security mechanisms. That cloud security itself is a vast area. So security, there are a lot of IT engineers with security background who is interested in security related stuff. There is a specific course in IT security that itself is a separate branch now. There are some colleges offering that computer science with security.
Our college.
And I think here we have computer science with
IoT,
core computer science, and then you have AIML,
AIDS,
Cybersecurity and
IoT,
IoT.
IoT,
AIDS,
what is it?
AIDS,
AIS,
DS, data structures.
data science. Data science. Okay. AIML. So AIML, what is AIML? Everybody talks about it today. No? Like there are different forms of AIMLs. There is one is the AI, then ML, and then the deep learning. So there are small differences between each of them. But at a high level, there is the data available about each individuals, data available about products, data available about companies. So all of this data, if we don't use, it goes waste. So what the companies have come up with, analyze this data, right? Earlier we used to build reports. You guys know about what is a report, right? You can build a report from existing data. Use spreadsheet or different software, you see report. Report is all about past data, what was there before. And then what is this AIML does is use this data and understand a pattern, learn this data, how it behaves. You can even predict a pattern about how people in this area, what they are interested, what kind of products they buy. As an individual, what do you do? All of this based on your past data, we can predict the future. Predicting future is the AI. And the algorithms are all used as the ML, and you call it different data science, all of that. So use the data, process the data, and within this data, processing the data, and then presenting it, and then future prediction. There's so many jobs out there. So some people are called data engineers, some people are called database administrators who manage the data, some people who process this data, they are called ETL engineers, extract transformation language, ETL, and then BI, business intelligence. They build reports, and then comes the data science, data scientists. So the data scientists are the ones who use the algorithms to predict the future, and it is extremely important because now every product that is coming out in the world includes AIML feature. If every company, not just the IT companies, technology companies, there are different varieties of companies. I think you guys probably know this already, right? So you have retail companies, you have technology companies, food industries, chemical industries, so many companies. But earlier it used to be only the technology companies hiring the IT engineers. Today, the whole world has changed. Now, all the product industries, the automobile industries, or food industries, everybody is hiring IT engineers with background in AIML because they want their product to have this AIML feature so that their product is more advanced than their competitors. So there is a huge demand out there for engineers with AIML background, and everyone who how to start to become an AIML engineer, you should know what is data, how is it stored, how do you process the data, and there's this Python language, right? You start learning Python, and then you can process the data. After that, what do you do after processing the data? There are so many pre-built algorithms available today in the industry. So, a lot of data scientists, there are some people who write algorithms. There are people who just use these algorithms and plan the future, predict the future. So there are so many careers available in this around this data and AIML. So be aware of that. and you might want to prepare yourself. Other is the healthcare. So if you look at your parents and your grandparents, all these people today, so a lot of hospitals provide this facility. So there is a small equipment they you can fit on their body, and it kinds of tracks all of their health, heartbeat rates and sugar level, everything. And then they have some algorithm built in, and it can send alerts to you when they cross that limit, and then you can take action. Hospitals actually they directly send nurses home and take care of those elderly people. And behind the scenes, basically AI/ML and IoT is used. That is what the technology behind. You might so one is the learning subject, very important. You have to understand how it works, but then where is it used? Make sure that you understand where is it used, and then how is it connected to the industry, and how do you prepare to get into the industry. So that is all very important. A lot of the engineers who, I mean, in fact, when I was completing my college, I had no idea what is the industry, how does it look like. Luckily, I got a job in campus interview. After that, I figured out, but um, you need to. It is very important these days. Even in the interviews, they ask about the industries. How do you connect? How are you prepared? We will discuss some of that, but it is very important always to think about how are you going to apply the subject that you are studying, which is very important. E-commerce, I think this has kind of calmed down last few years, but when it started, right, this Amazons and Flipkarts and also the business to business transactions between companies, all these things happen behind the scenes. The transactions, how they buy goods, sell goods, all of that happens through e-commerce. E-commerce itself is a huge career. People work in e-commerce. Basically, they know how to write code in like using HTML or JavaScript, and there's so many things available today. It's a lot of things I don't know. I have no idea, but there are so many careers available around e-commerce, and it's a huge area. Um, Even chatbots. So any website you go to today, there will be a chatbot that comes and asks you. There will be a girl sitting there and asking you, "Sir, how can I help you?" I don't know if you have seen that. And you can type your question. He's building it today because that automated thing solves a lot of queries for them. They don't need people to work behind the scenes. They don't need to pay them, and they have to make sure that it is asking a lot of intelligent questions. Any questions so far? No? Okay. At the end, I will be asking questions, okay? Uh, who are the e-commerce providers that we know? You can see Amazon, eBay. eBay is mostly in US. I don't think it's in India. eBay is big in US. Like you can actually sell, buy things, and you can quote your price, and they will also quote what is the buying price, all those things. And Walmart, Flipkart, um, Snapdeal. I think Snapdeal is not doing that well, but definitely Walmart and Flipkart they are doing very well. IoT. I think we talked about this a lot. So what is IoT? You guys have a subject or a course around that, right? It's basically enabling all the devices to connect to computers or connect to internet, more than computers, right? Connect to internet. So there is like you have AC, speaker, the projector, everything, right? The devices here. Today they started having features to connect back to internet. Once they are connected to internet, you can control them through your mobile phone. There are bulbs available today. I don't know if you guys know that. You can control it through your mobile. The intensity and It's on and off, all those things you can control. So it's going to keep on increasing, and lot of people work behind the scenes to enable these things, right? And if you look at AC, right, this is not done by a technology company. Samsung is an electronics manufacturing company. So they need people who can write code for this IoT. Lot of this IoT code is based on the system software, connect it back to the device, how to make it work, all of that. It's not, this is totally outside of AIML, but you also connect the data, store the data. You need to have those kind of features. That's very important. Um, how do you become an IoT engineer? I think looks like again here you have C++, and Python. And a lot of embedded software is used here. You have a subject on embedded software?
Yes.
Huh? Yes. Blockchain. You guys heard about blockchain before? No? So there are banks available in this world today, right? So different countries are there. India has rupee, US has dollar, UK has pound, like many currencies are there. And there is an official way of transacting between different countries and these currencies. But this blockchain kind of have come up with a common concept. It's a virtual currency. If the buyer and seller they agree to transact, they can do it through blockchain. They go and enroll. So this has kind of eliminated a lot of these middle layers, and it has become popular now. This is another huge area that's picking up. A lot of companies are trying to adopt this. Even banks are slowly getting into this blockchain concept. It's still in the early stages, but definitely after a few years, this is going to be the future of how you transact through different currencies. It's a virtual currency, basically.
Digital. Cryptocurrency. Big loss.
Biology, I think we talked about a little bit. So there are specific courses in computer science with specialization in bioinformatics, biotechnology, and health informatics. So each of them cover different areas within the biology. So bioinformatics is all about using the computer science to enable these devices that are used in healthcare industry. How do we apply the statistical models? How do you process the data? All of that is comes under the IT, and you apply that for biology. It's called bioinformatics. Similarly, biotechnology is basically technology that's used within the biology. You can see how do you process the information within the biology. Healthcare informatics is basically maintaining the health records. So when we go to hospitals, most of the records are maintained in computers today, and the connected and that healthcare information is used by insurance companies. All of that. India it's slowly picking up, but in US everything is connected. Any hospital can look at any patient and their information and their history, healthcare history, all of that can be possible. It's going to come up like that in India because the insurance guys they want to know about you, your history, and the problems that you have faced in past, all of that. It's a huge industry itself picking up. So the healthcare industry overall needs computer science people, needs IT industry with programming background, especially with the data. How do you process the data, statistical models, algorithms, all of that. Sorry, I went a few slides. Okay, so now we talked about few technologies, right? I think you are probably studying more than this, and if not, you will be studying in the next 2 years. So I have just talked about only few things that are very popular, very important. You can build your career around that. You think about what is interesting to you. Start slowly learning more and more around that technology. and then you can slowly get into those areas. So now, what are the opportunities available in the industry, right? As an IT engineer, as a software engineer. So I don't know if you hear these terminologies. Um, Web developers, cloud admins, AI/ML engineers, all of these different roles, right? This is what the job we do, right? When we start our career. Um, First, when you get out of college, maybe only some people will join into the specific categories, but after a year or so, you will be getting into one of these specific categories. So there lakhs and lakhs of people working in each of these categories. And then you can see the different varieties of industries. Oil and gas, huge industry. So there are so many oil companies, not just petrol bunks and these things. There are other oil companies who process oil and they drill oils, and especially if you take the Middle East and US, there are so many companies out there. Shell, ExxonMobil. Um, in India, you see the Bharat Petroleum, Indian
Indian oil.
Indian Oil Corporation. And then other industries like chemical industries, and then you have consumer goods. Consumer goods is like everyday products that we use, right? Soap and all the daily products that we use, milk and everything. Um, then you have telecom industries, Airtel, um, Zio, all of these guys, right? Big guys. So all of these, basically the different industries, you will get into one of these jobs. That's what this says, right? And just for you should know that there are so many opportunities available, so many industries are out there. That is what is needed. You don't need to know all the details and everything what these companies do and all. There are variety of companies, and especially I don't know if you guys have campus interviews here. So companies coming to your campus, mostly they are technology companies, but there are other companies also. There are different types of companies that come. One is there are Indian companies, and then there are multinational companies. So Indian IT companies are like Wipro, Infosys, uh, HCL, TCS, all of this. And then you have these multinational companies like Microsoft, Intel, Oracle, Dell. So all of these big companies. What's the difference? Indian companies operate in India. Plus, they also do offshore projects, outsourced projects. Right? The other companies outsource projects to these Indian companies. And what are these multinational companies do? Mostly multinational companies, they have their own products, not just they do consulting, right? One is called consulting. These Indian companies that I mentioned, they do consulting. There are product-based Indian companies also, but they are less. But most of the multinational companies, they are product-based. For example, you take Microsoft. They make the operating system. That's their core business. And now they are into cloud. What does Dell do? They make laptops. What does Oracle do? They do databases, CRM, and cloud. Amazon, what do they do? No? Retail plus AWS. AWS is a big thing there. That's all cloud, right? So there are so many multinational companies. Even multinational companies, there are different one. There are some consulting companies like Accenture, Deloitte, E&Y. They are all consulting companies. They only do outsourced projects. They don't have products. They only have people. Like TCS, Infosys, they compete with these are all in one specific area. They are competitors. Consulting business. So you build your career. A lot of times we get jobs in these consulting companies. So then they place you onto the other companies because they don't have their own projects. They do projects for other companies. Whereas if you take these multinational companies who are product-based companies, They have their own products. They have their own IT engineers to take care of their business, their operations. They don't do projects for other companies. And then if you work in these companies for a few years, you might get opportunity to go abroad, US or UK or Middle East. And that's entirely a different topic. How do you prepare yourself for those kind of things? A lot of these things you learn once you join job, right? And how many of you are interested to go for higher studies? I mean, it's too early, I know, second year. You want to study ME, MTech? No? Nobody says no. Or everybody says no. No? You don't want to say. So, you can see on the right side what is the job category which is in the highest demand. It's called developer full stack. The number of engineers in the world, IT engineers, in that category are the highest. So it's easy to get a job in that category. That's what it means. Compared to other areas. So many people work in that category. And then the developer backend. Front end is the user facing technologies. Backend is the database and other stuff. And full stack is including both. And then there are other technologies, but right now this is little old, but right now this AI/ML thing has picked up like anything. Just remember that. This is another way of looking at opportunities. As you can see here, the highest is the front-end developers. 463,000 engineers are required. They are looking for these many engineers. Opportunities available today. And this machine learning and data science, the number has gone up drastically in last 1 year. And there is also other category called testing and quality engineers. Within IT, so there are a lot of engineers who work as a testing and quality engineers, right? So a lot of people get placed into this after you get hired as a first job. After that, you learn some technologies, programming in slowly, and then you become the developer. So that is also happening. As you can see, women represent only 30% of the talent pool. 70% is still only men. So still it's not equal. So please don't get married immediately after college, okay? Please work for a few years at least. Especially for girls. I keep telling this because I have two girls, so I keep on reminding them. Okay, now skills development. Manimali madam was telling me yesterday, can you please talk a little bit about skills development? What kind of skills do you build? One is the subjects that you study. I think that you have to study. There is no other option. You have to pass the college, get some good marks. There is no option outside of that. Okay. After that, there are two types of skills. One is the soft skills. Other is the technical skills. What is more important? Both. Okay. And what does the technical skills do? Basically, your subjects, what you learn in your subjects, and maybe the projects that you do or internship that you do, what you learn from there. That will help you to get into the interview. After you go in front of the interviewer, okay, I have done so many interviews. I know this personally how it works. So you go inside the interview room. After that, only soft skills help. The technical skills help very little. They know that you have passed already. That's why you are there. After that, they don't look at the technical skills because without that you would not have come there. Okay, then they look at soft skills. What is a soft skill? What's the important soft skill? Most important soft skill?
Communication skills.
Communication. Very good. Thank you. What is communication? Huh? What is communication? Hmm?
The ability to
Ability to
ability to make the person understand what we are trying to say.
correct. Thank you. Ability to
Convey the people.
make the other person understand what you're saying, right? And how clearly you say what you're saying, how specifically you say, and how do you convince the other person, and how nicely you speak, and how clearly you pronounce the words. All of that is very, very important. And how you show your kind of attitude, volunteering skills. Have you done a leadership for certain things? Are you somebody who is like approachable? Are you someone who will take a problem and solve? All of that they will look into it. They'll start talking about something. First thing they will ask is, tell about yourself. So you need to know how to say in few sentences. Sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 2 minutes, sometimes 1 minute. You have to know. Normally, what I do, I go there, take your resume. I don't do anything in the resume, but you will see that you might be thinking I'm looking at the resume, but I'll just ask the first question, tell about yourself, and I'll be listening to that. That itself is the first impression, is the best impression. You have to clearly say who you are, and when you say that, let's say I come from Oracle, right? I will see whether this person is fit for the role that I am looking for. Are you going to help this organization? Do you know little bit about Oracle? Have you prepared yourself? You just don't say that I am from this place and my father is this, my mother is this, and I have this. All those things don't work. I studied from this. I studied this subjects. That no. You have to know. Mostly talk about your projects. Talk about your internship. Something practical that you have done. That is what is most important. Theory, yes, if they ask, you can get into it, but a lot of times people see how you have applied what you have studied. And you should be able to tell that very quickly, not like get into too much details also, so that the other person can understand. These are all very important things. And people who know how to handle this, they get job quickly. And they get better jobs, they get paid well, and even after joining the job, they grow fast. I have seen in my own eyes. Okay, so speaking is very, very important. How you speak, how you present. So if there are any opportunities to present, if there are any opportunities to lead something in the college, if there are any opportunities to help your staff, please volunteer. Please do that. That will give you a way of how you demonstrate your skills, how you practice yourself through that. You are helping somebody at the same time, you are also learning. Don't be in an isolated format. If you are isolated yourself and you be on your own, I don't want to talk to many people, then it's difficult in life. Even in family, it will be difficult. The other kid who speaks well, that kid will get everything that he or she wants. Very important in life. Even in family, I have to clearly explain to my wife. Otherwise, it's always a problem, right? Then I have to keep doing what all they are saying. That's all will happen. You don't want to be in that kind of a mode. Always remember that you live in a society, you live with friends, you live with family, you live with in a company, you live with the environment that you are working on. You want to see how you are connected to that society, how you are helping the society, how are you able to take some initiatives for the society and do it. It's just in the personal life, if you do this, this will automatically come into your career. Very, very important. when madam was calling some people, right? You should come. The students come here. You don't want to wait for your name to be called, and she had to call 3 people, right? You come. What will happen? Nothing will happen. They're just asking me to stand here for give picture, right? Take a picture. That's all. Slowly you will get out of this crowd fear, stage fear, right? This getting out of this fear to talk in front of other people, right? Is very important. Especially interviewers who are coming for campus interviews and other things, they will look for how comfortable are you, how you are managing the situation, are you tensed or not, feeling comfortable. It's very, very important. And these things will come over a period. It won't happen in a day. It's not possible. You have to develop the skill, right? Clarity in communication is extremely important. You just don't want to be keep on talking also without any use, right? You have to know how to clearly explain the question that they are asking. Just be specific to the answer. That is also important. Okay, now let's see what they are saying. Yeah, so communication skills you guys mentioned. Second one is the making decisions. A lot of times, this happens in personal life also. I experienced so many times. So when there is a difficult situation, we don't make decisions. We postpone. That is not good. You have to make decisions. With the authority you have, you cannot go and make decisions. But you have to make decisions with the information that you have. A lot of times, it will work out well. Over a period, you will get better and better. But it is important. Sometimes students I have seen when staff is asking you to make a decision, then you just move away from that place. Don't do that. Please make decisions wherever it's needed. Self-motivation, always important. People think that whether I will get a job or not. I will always go back to what Neha said. You have to increase your skills. That is the only thing that needed. The job will come automatically. You have to improve your capabilities. Very, very important. Leadership skills. What is leadership? A lot of times this understanding is very less in India. What is leadership?
Yeah, 1 second. Working together with them.
Who is the leader of this college?
Principals.
Principal sir, right? This engineering college, yeah.
Sir.
And who is the leader of this CSE?
Manimosuna.
Manimali. So there is a leader for everything. And there are some places where there is no leader, but somebody will take the leadership role automatically if you have seen it. If you are in a group of friends, right? If you have to do something, I have seen one person will volunteer and start taking leadership for that activity. That is what you have, that you want to be in that kind of a place. Because that itself is a huge experience. And I know it will come with some other challenges like convincing other people, gathering more information, doing a little bit extra work, which is fine. That is very, very important. It will take you long in life. It's extremely important in your personal life also. And then time management is another thing which is extremely important because you have to do right things at the right time, right age in life, right? So in office specifically, if you very important. And when you go for an interview also, how you manage the time also is important. So these are some soft skills, and a lot of these soft skills are applicable in personal life as well as business. I don't know if you notice it. I think staff they probably have noticed it, especially when we are in a family, right? A lot of these things are applicable. Soft skills. It's very difficult to survive in a family without soft skills. Okay, so you can see here what is that they look for in industry from you when they hire you, right? Look at the first one. Willingness to learn. It's not that what you have learned, it's about willingness to learn in future. What, what is that? Always when you go for interview, right? Just show that you are ready to learn new things. Whatever you have learned in the college is great, but you have to, your answers should be in the direction that, hey, I am ready to learn what your company does, more about how I can contribute to your organization. Uh, you can even ask questions to them. Please explain what is this role about a little bit more. But you should know a little bit before you go there. All those things will help you to connect to that person. A lot of times I have seen students come to the interview without preparing anything. Then we ask questions and they go on their own. And that the student is very bright, they must have scored highest marks. Those things don't help. Cultural fit, another thing, very, very important. A lot of these multinational companies, they look for people who are culturally fit. What does that mean? You should be able to work in a multicultural society, right? You cannot go there and see whether this interviewing person knows Telugu or Tamil or something like that, right? Or is what religion? All of these things don't help. You should be ready to work in a society where you accept all of these things, especially multinational companies. There are a lot of Americans or foreigners. They are part of the project. Like we work for them, and then we go for interviews. We look for those kind of qualities. And you may be a specific. You may come from a specific rural area, and you may appreciate what you are from your background, but that's okay. You keep it with you. When you go for a job, those things don't help. And even after you get the job, please make sure that you appreciate the others also. Others, background, everything. Very important. Okay, so the next one is the resume, right? I think you still have a little bit of time, but after second year, you can go for this internship, right? Right? Anybody is going for internship?
Now only they have seen.
They have to apply.
Yes.
Any-
They're already doing on the
They
process.
are already doing. Okay,
Internships.
how many of you are doing internship? What, madam? Nobody's.
We already finished, sir.
Oh, they finished. Okay, how many of you have finished internship?
Well, sir, they have in a syllabus that they should complete an internship.
They have not completed.
They
some of
should
them.
complete
They
a
should complete.
internship.
So internship is very important. Second year or third year, make sure that you do an internship. That gives you an exposure to the industry, right? People who have not done internship, make sure that you at least do it next year. It's something that interviewers always look for, right? Coming back to the resume, right? What are the important things that, how do you prepare your resume? I just took one sample resume, but one first is the education, right? This is a standard thing. Education is something that you mention it, but not everybody's, like the interviewers are not going to care much about it. Okay. They know that you have passed, they know that you have completed the papers. That's why you are there in that place for the interview. So that's a given thing. Okay. Second is skills. Skills, to some extent, they look at it like you put C, C++, Python, or AWS or something, right? So they will just think about that, what skills they are looking for, is it there or not, but it's not the most important, but still you highlight that. Career objective, anyway, you write something interesting on the top, always mention that you are a positive person, you are interested to grow and help the organization, put something like that, right? Projects, extremely important. What projects that you do in college or outside, but projects are almost equal to your experience. First is internship, second is projects. These are the two things that we always look for. certification that adds to your discussion. For example, if you have done AWS certification, or you have done Azure certification, or you have done something in AIML. So I may be looking for somebody with that background, then it's a good fit. Then it's easy to, it's an added advantage. I'll remember to do some certification, right? I don't know if college is offering or outside, some companies are offering, or you can do it online. Certification is extremely important. And certification can be related to the project that you are doing, right? You can do a project in cloud or AIML and then do a certification around that. Focus in one area. Don't do certification in one area, then project in other areas. Then you are everywhere. That will not help. You decide what area you want to go. So do your projects, do your internship, do your certification around the same area. Then you go for an interview. It helps a lot. Just don't think that if I know this many things, I can get a job. It doesn't work. Normally they look for people who are focused. They look for people who are very good in one thing. We are always, I don't know if we are not good at multitasking, but we still try. But at the end, it doesn't work. And then, of course, experience. I think you guys are still in the college, so there is no experience. But if you have experience, it's an added advantage. That's all. Does it make sense what I'm talking?
Yes.
Are you guys bored?
No.
No? Or you know all of these things already? That's also an answer. I think most of this I covered. Another thing, right? Do you know something about storytelling? Right? Have you told some stories somewhere, anywhere? Other people listen? It's extremely important. Storytelling is one of the most important skills. So take a story and tell to other people when they need. Okay, you cannot just simply tell a story to them, right? Or an event in your life, you are explaining to other people. There are actually Toastmasters Club. Have you guys heard about it? So that's actually something that you can join, and then every week there will be session. You can speak about some subject, and that is to improve your communication skills. So how do you tell the event? How do you tell your story? And you tell your story in 5 minutes. You tell your story in 10 minutes. This kind of skill is extremely important in life, personal life as well as professional life. And people who don't know how to tell their stories, they cannot sell themselves. They cannot brand themselves. If you look at all these leaders, great people, right? You look at Sundar Pichai or Satya Nadella or Modi, right? They tell stories very well. Not being political here, but still, how they tell the story, right? Very impressive. Other people can get easily attracted to. That skill you have to develop to some extent. You don't need to be like them at least, but it's very important to tell a story. So it should be exciting to the other person. If it's boring, you have to improve. First, you start telling to yourself when you're going somewhere, when you're in the bathroom or something, right? Start telling to yourself. And then tell to your family. Then if they are not listening, then that means you don't go anywhere, okay? You have to make sure that you tell this. Some even when we go out, right, something happened. Somebody hits my car, something happened, I argued with the person, or police came and locked my car and I paid the fine. I come back home and I explain to my wife and kids, right? Are they interested to listen?
Yes.
A lot of things they are not interested, but still, right? I have to make it interesting. The way I tell. That is, you learn how to tell the story. It has to be real though, right? You cannot add masala. Little bit of adding here and there is fine, but especially professional life, you can add few things. But how do you tell? This same thing is applicable to how you explain your project, what you did, and how is it helping? How is your project helping the society, helping the technology, helping the organization, helping the staff, all of that, right? That skill is very important. And there are trainings available. When in companies that we work, right, there is a major training called storytelling. We all sign up for the training. We go for 5 days how to tell stories. That's all we do. And then we keep telling stories, and they take video and then they show it to us what we are telling. And after 30 years, 40 years, we do this. You can start doing now itself. Very important. Actually, probably the Instagram created the story thing for this only, right? Explaining the big picture. I think I have mentioned multiple times, but still I'll tell you. You have to know the projects that you do. How is it helping? How is it helping you? How is it helping to solve the problem? How is it helping the college? How is it helping the industry? That is very important. You just explain the technical things. I created this program. You give this as input. Output comes. Yeah. I think everybody knows that. Okay. But beyond that, what does it do? Why are you doing that project? Why it was interesting? That is what is important. That can-do attitude. I think we talked about it. All of these skills, soft skills, right? It's very difficult to develop. Hard skills are easy. You study, you don't get good marks. You study again and again, day and night, right? You get good marks. I used to mug up a lot of subjects and go and vomit and then get excellent marks, right? But I was bad at soft skills. I realized it only after joining the job. That what I was doing was not that important in life later. It was helpful to get a job though. Otherwise I would not have got a job, right? But you should start developing these soft skills early in your life. Very important. Sometimes the job is not related to programming. These days, a lot of jobs that you don't do programming, right? There is this no coding, low coding type of jobs, right? That a lot of times they focus on problem solving. How good are you in solving a problem? How do you connect different pieces together? Those kind of things. You don't need to be an expert in coding. That's also okay. That's how a lot of jobs are there. Especially the data scientists. I like that job because today a lot of data scientists that we hire, they know how to use the existing algorithms and get output out of that. They don't write any algorithms. All they do is bring all these pieces together, find out where they are available, and do this prediction. They predict how this company is going to do next year. They predict how much revenue is there, what will be the hiring next year, all of that. But background algorithms are all already available. Earlier we used to do Google, now chatbot is available. You can get a lot of these things, right? But how do you use them? And using them, how do you benefit is also important, right? A lot of the products that we use today are built. And with these built products, what do we do? Develop beyond that, right? Just one example, this automotive industry, right? Car industry in US 1960s and 70s. That was the highest growth industry. So many cars, GM, Ford, Toyotas, Hondas, everybody was like growing like anything. And people working in the auto industry thought that that's the best job that they were doing. And then slowly it got saturated because the cars, everybody has come up with standard cars, everything is available. But now again car industry is booming. Why? Because electric cars. And the different technologies available in the cars. Have you seen a car called NG? Huh? Internet inside, it says, right? If you see the NG car. And you can drive, you can go in that car, and the car itself is connected to a network. And somebody going, like I am traveling here in Kerala area, and somebody is inside the city somewhere, right? The Kantirva Stadium. And the car tells me that how is the traffic there, don't want to come in this route, you come in a different route. All of that. And this car is connected to your front side, the guy going in the front also. So many things are happening today. This car concept is called connected cars. And there is a company called Carmont. I don't know if you guys know about it. All they do is this business, connected cars. How do we improve the technology within the cars? If somebody thought that the cars are available, cars market is saturated, these things won't come. Right? If somebody has thought that Facebook is enough, right? Instagram wouldn't have come. Instagram also, like people think that it's only for young people today, right? But I'm sure slowly it's going to pick up for everybody. If not, they at least want to sign up for monitoring their kids, right? We talk. So this commonly used words in the office. I think it's too early for you. Normally, I talk to the final year students, people who are going for jobs. How do they prepare for the working environment within their offices? All of that. So I'm not going to discuss that here. And how an organization look like. So any organization, you take an industry, right? There will be a chief executive officer, and there will be vice presidents, and there will be directors and managers, and then you will have engineers. That's how it's structured. Okay, this is not fair. Okay, now we are the last stage, at the quiz. Okay, quick quiz. Before this, anybody has any questions, comments?
Hi, my name is Pranita.
Like,
So, will you be from Oracle? Will you be hiring students from our college? And if yes, what are the skill sets we should have to them? From Oracle point. of view.
yeah. So Oracle is mainly into this cloud and the data technologies. Okay, so their business is that. So they sell also it's CRM and ERP solutions for big companies. So we look for engineers who have some background in cloud, plus the soft skills, of course, right? Soft skills are common for every company, but we more normally look for cloud plus something around data or AML. Those areas we look for. Oracle. I don't know if it comes to this point. I can check, but we go to some different colleges also within Bangalore. But I can check if we can come to this point. Anybody else?
I'm sitting in front of you with mobile there.
Yes.
Battery.
My name is
Sudarshan.
Yes.
Right.
So when you entered into the IT industry, when you were asked to work in a team, what are the challenges that you face when working in a team?
So working in a team, initially I worked in India for a few years and then I went to US. I was there for 16, 17 years. Working in a team is always a bit challenging because you have variety of people you don't know where they come from initially. After that you become friends over a period, but even then it is very important to appreciate the cultural backgrounds that they come from. You just have to be very sensitive to those things. And especially when people are from different languages, you don't want to speak in local language. You may have a few friends within the team, so you please try to speak in a common language, which is English. And also, the second thing is that they may come from different backgrounds. Please appreciate that. And people have different accents, especially people from US will be part of that project. Sometimes they will come and talk. So you need to try to understand their accents also a little bit. Chinese will have their own accent, US people will have their own accent. And then the other is diversity. So make sure that you accept people from different backgrounds, right? Girls, boys, or any backgrounds, right? People with disabilities, everything is fine. You have to go with that mindset. And then you look at the manager of the team, how he or she runs the team, and try to learn from that. What is that qualities that he exhibits, how he or she connects with the people. Connecting with the people is very important. That likability, right? That something called likability has to be good for you. That's also another skill that's important. And then, of course, the technical skills. You need to, people should view or see that you can solve technical problems, right? That's another thing. And then, other thing is this communication, which goes with the storytelling. When you are talking about a problem, or you are talking about, like, first thing they will do is introduce yourself. You need first the team, right? How you introduce, and different forums. One is introduced within your team. Sometimes they'll introduce you to client. So you have to know where to talk, what, how. All of those things are important. Um, that is what I feel. But you have any specific question, or this is good? Okay. All right, sure. Anybody else? Yes.
My name is Vinod.
Vinod.
Dinoy, D-I-N-O.
Dino.
Dinoy.
You worked in USA. So can you give us a comparison between the Indian IT market and the US IT market? How the job scenario is between.
Okay, sure, sure. So, like 20 years back, when I was there, it's mostly Americans, very less Indians, but today it's all dominated by Indians in US also. Okay, that's one big difference. The culturally, right, white people are even US has African Americans and white people, right? So they are little different, and they work. They're very specific to their work. They don't talk about personal things. Whereas Indians, right? First time, as soon as you start talking, we will start asking, okay, are you married, and this, that, all those things, right? So you have to be careful. They don't like that. And India, we have friends, like we put our hands on the shoulder and all. They really don't like you touching them. Like initially, I faced that problem. I go and stand next close to that person. Person like, can you move a little bit, please? Right? So those kind of problems will be there. Culturally, you have to learn quickly. You have to understand from other friends who are there before. Then you will be better off. Otherwise, it runs into challenges. And then accent, right? You have to adjust your accent so that they understand better. And a lot of things go with that. And normally, don't ask personal questions. Please avoid that. They don't like it. And even with Indians, please don't ask personal questions unless they are very close friends, right? Because everybody's life is different. So those are few things that you should know culturally. And US people don't care about what they do. The person may be 70, 75 years old, they are still developers. They don't care. But India, people, like a lot of times after 5, 6 years, I don't want to do development. I want to be a manager, right? So they are people, they are individuals, they are kind of satisfied with what they do, and they are on their own. But we normally try to interfere into others' lives. That's a big difference. That slowly I have learned. Then after 15, 20 years, come back to India, then I face this problem here, right? Working here. So, but you have to learn that every country is different, right? These days, I am hearing that a lot of white people are learning how to work with Indians because there's so many people in IT industry, even in US. Last week, one of my friends visited here. 15 people in their team. There are only 2 Americans. All 13 are Indians. In Fidelity, North Carolina. So they are now, they don't know what to talk in a meeting because these guys are all talking in like about this Telugu movie that came recently, right? Or some Hindi songs or something, right? Some people even talk in Hindi. So those guys are kind of left out. But we should not do that. We should try to make sure that we understand who are all in a forum. Even here, when we go to cafeteria, right? Like 5 people are going. There may be one person from North, but the remaining people, they may be all from Tamil, but then they speak in Tamil. But that one person feels left out, right? We should not do that. Same thing the other way, right? Whenever I see people from North, right, I go there, they just talk to me in Hindi as if I know Hindi very well, right? I don't know. I tell them, I don't know Hindi. But sometimes they will say that Hindi is the national language. You don't know the national language? I say, no. So, but we have to respect each other's feelings. That's very important.
Yes, we can. No problem.
Any other
We
questions?
have a same platform with you, and we are managing and we are happy together.
You guys are getting ready for getting jobs, right? Third year or fourth year campus interview?
Third year from 6 semesters.
6 semesters. So another 2 more semesters left. But try to develop the skills around that. Talk to your seniors. Understand
To get job done. Satisfied.
what they face, what the questions are being asked.
Morning is
And also try to focus in a specific area, like I said, right? AML or cloud or IoT, and then do projects around that, learn more about that, and then try to understand what industries are out there, what companies are there around that, right? Then you will get a better job with a better pay. That's also important. If there are no questions, we can go into the quiz now.
Open ChatGPT.
Okay.
Open ChatGPT.
Founders of Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, and SpaceX have one thing in common.
Mark Zuckerberg,
Huh?
college
Yeah, who is that? Yes. Tell me.
college dropouts.
They are all college dropouts, yes. Nobody finished their degrees.
We should stop studying.
But please, you don't do that. Okay? Keeping staff here, I have to make sure you guys do the degree properly. Okay. The most common computer password.
1, 2, 3.
Admin.
Admin at 1, 2, 3.
Admin.
1, 2,
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the common to use password.
You also?
Whose name comes from a spelling error? A word. The Google was named by spelling mistake.
Kadal.
Google.
Kadal.
Googol. What does that mean?
6.
Huh? One with 100 zeros. That's what Google means. So, what is the job of a hacker? We did not talk about hacker, this word at all.
Which hacker?
Huh?
Which hacker? White hat, black hat, gray hat.
Which
General,
hat?
what?
No, I'm asking which hacker? White hat hacker.
General.
General hacker. Come as security hacker.
Okay, in gray hat hacker, they will find a way how hackers will hack it and secure the data.
Okay. You went into details. Thank you. Hackers normally
For gaining
hack
the other
the system.
systems.
Basically find out how to enter into a system by finding out
Their
passwords,
weaknesses,
by different ways and things like that.
Trust.
This itself is a career. Okay, a lot of people get into this career. Machine learning is a subset of
Deep learning.
Artificial intelligence.
what is the common language of artificial intelligence?
Python.
Robotic process is a technology that uses software agents. There is a name for those software agents.
If I take my phone now, it's free.
Bots.
Bots.
Provide an example for real-time computing. This is a very good question. Real-time. What is real-time computing? So normally computers like they are not real-time, right? The data is there. We go and look at it later. We do reports later. We do some predictions. All of these things are not real-time. What is real-time computing?
So, in Express, like Express box.
Online gaming.
Online gaming. Yeah. So basically, when it is happening, you take action in real life.
Financial tracking, the share market.
Yeah, flight, air travels, or this sometimes the healthcare, right? When a person is like you monitor the health of the system and the pulse goes down below certain level, you have to take action right there. So those kind of things are very important. It's very interesting field. Especially if you work in GE, there are a lot of areas where they do
Financial
real time
freedoms, the Sensex.
sensors. Yes, lot of sensors. As soon as they sense and it goes beyond certain level, they will take some action. What the technology used to make telephone calls over the internet possible?
She was eating when you came. She came in the morning, 8 in the morning only. Could she eat? So
Voice
the
over
Kumar
IP.
is crazy.
What is the company? There's a company called Airbnb. What do they do? It's a US based company. That's why I think many of us don't know here. But it's a huge company.
You should know.
This concept is coming up in India also now. Rental, correct. They are in rental business.
Yeah.
They have homes, like there are hotels, right? Hotels and the resorts that we stay here. They have houses, homes. They bought in different cities all over the world. So you can rent them. So you want to go and stay in a different city, not in a hotel, but you want to rent a house for a month. In US, they use this Airbnb extensively. So you can rent a house for 1 month, 1 week, and pay nominal rent, not like hotel fees. Most successful startup in the world, first in the world and then India. What is a startup?
They're having their own
Somebody can stand up and explain.
executing their own ideas.
Startup is the
Executing,
beginning of the company, starting a company, right? What is the
executing
startup
their own.
in US? 2 startups. Facebook. Facebook was a startup. Airbnb is a startup.
Now threats.
In India? Huh?
Covens.
What is that?
Lens card. Lens card.
Lenskart. I don't know about that. Okay. Definitely Paytm. Paytm is a startup.
Covens.
Flipkart.
Coven.
So
It's a main
started from
startup
scratch.
in US.
That's what it is. And there are
Very dangerous.
where is the most number of startups in the world today? Which city?
US.
Bangalore. Bangalore has the most number of startups in the world. And startups offer jobs to freshers easily. But you have to work very hard there. But you will learn a lot in startups compared to big companies. Because you will do everything there. And you will become part of the company. It's all small companies, small companies.
Startup, then they'll close and they'll.
2 most popular mobile apps in India.
Instagram and WhatsApp.
WhatsApp and
Instagram.
okay. Top 3 IT companies in India. TCS,
Deloitte.
Infosys,
Deloitte.
HCL.
HCM. Not
In the order, TCS is the biggest one. Then Infosys, then Wipro.
She don't know.
Top 5 IT companies in the world. I'll give the answer. Microsoft, HP, IBM, Accenture, and all. In the same order. I think we are done here.
Take us also. I'm satisfied. Sir, one industrial visitor.
Any more questions or in the comments?
How can we
If you don't want to ask here, you can ask. They can also.
organize an industrial visit to Oracle? Industrial visit to Oracle.
What is it, ma'am?
Industrial visit to Oracle, sir, for
Industrial
students.
visit?
For
Okay.
students.
You want
For our
to-
students.
For
Yeah,
our
I'll check.
students.
I'll check and let you know. Yeah. There is a separate department for that. I'll check with that.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
You can also check with Dell. She works in Dell.
That is from there. I see.
Any other questions, comments, any help you need? If you don't want to ask now, it's fine. You can ask Mani madam or you can contact me
Together we will
later.
not get bored. If we
I'm
sit
available.
individually, even we will listen.
Or you don't know what you want to do in your life, professional life, let me know.
Oh,
He can be on that.
who is she?
Okay. Was
No,
this
never
session
mind.
helpful
Later.
discussion?
Wait. Yes, sir.
Huh? Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. You are the only person listening
The only person
to
was
us.
to check.
Thank you, sir. The session was very informative. Looking forward to hearing you speak again in many more sessions again. Let us end this event with a vote of thanks and appreciation, gratitude to all those who made this event a grand success. I request Mrs. Mani Meghalai ma'am to propose vote of thanks.
Yeah, on the lights.
Good afternoon, everyone. I deem it a great honor and pleasure to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. Today, I take this opportunity to express my gratitude and appreciation to all those who made this event such a resounding success. To begin, on behalf of Department of CSE, I would like to thank our chief guest, Mr. Selva Subramani sir, who spared time from his busiest schedule to grace this occasion. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our principal sir, Dr. Yogesh, for giving us opportunity to organize this event. My sincere thanks to our beloved HOD madam, Dr. Manimori ma'am, who has been a backbone for the support conduction of this event. My heartfelt thanks to all the fraternity members and to all of my students for their support and cooperation in organizing this event and making it a grand success. Thank you, one and all.
And when I wake up, that will come after age for aged people. Why it came for you?
I request students to stay back for your exams.
We have that duty, no? No, but this is my neck hurts too much. No,
Can we?
no, mom, mom, and it,
And,
and we are doing chit chatting.